Wait, come closer. Porque si lo tiras, te va. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paola and I'm here with my sister Frida.
Hi.
So we're actually three sisters and she's the middle sister, the unwanted sister. I'm just kidding. Okay, so you want to go ahead and introduce yourself so they know a little bit about you.
Like, what should I tell your YouTube followers? What do you want me to tell them about myself?
Tell them like maybe your age, what your some goals, a little bit like something that describes like your personality.
Okay. Well, my name is Frida Niebla. I am a student at San Diego State University. I live in San Diego now. I'm about 2 semesters away from graduating, so it's pretty exciting, almost graduating and starting my own life. Right now, I'm really excited about my opportunity where I'm working at. I'm working with Ferrari and Maserati of San Diego. It's a fun environment. I love the people, so it's been a good time, and hopefully I'll kind of, expand more when I go abroad in China next semester. So that's kind of the most important stuff and, the cool stuff going on in my life right now.
You mentioned your major, right?
International business.
Yeah, just and in Mandarin, focused in Mandarin, right?
Yeah, so I'm learning Chinese and marketing for the most part. Those are my emphasis for my major.
She's a very accomplished person.
I try to be.
Okay, so if you guys are not okay, if you guys are not familiar with the whole concept of my tea time videos, it's pretty much where I like to invite different people onto these videos so we can talk about like topics and like build off of each other's ideas. So you know how it works, right? How I just like pick a random topic and then we just go from there.
Well, you kind of told me a little bit about it. I've seen it from your video with Natalie.
Yeah, we talked about change. Oh, okay. I'll link that down below. But so for this video, since Frida is very into the whole business thing and with her career and like how she's going to China in how many months?
In February.
In February. So I wanted to talk about success and building your own success and what does success mean for different people? Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like a lot of people think that like being successful is being a specific way and like just being in school and getting straight A's and like graduating with a degree and like getting a job and like So what do you think? What's success to you, first of all?
Well, what is success to me won't be the same to you or anyone else. That's, something that we all know. But what I can say to each and every person that always asks me, like, how do you know what you want to do? I didn't. So what I did is I went off from kind of beginning to think about the things I like to do, and I always tell each and every person that's confused about what they want to do, just kind of make a list of things you like to do on your spare time, whether it's listening to music, whether it's, learning a new language. You could start off from building off of the things you like, because you can really make a career out of the things you're passionate about. Because if you're passionate about certain things, you'll never want to not work with those, activities that you like to do or topics of interest that really kind of just spark your ideas and make you really creative, so you can base it off of that. And I always tell people, like, never underestimate your likes, because those will only make you happy.
Yeah.
As far as what is successful, it can be a million things. It just depends.
It depends on what you define yourself as being a successful person.
Also, what level of success, because someone's, success might be, getting a certain job with a certain company because they really find themselves being in line with a particular company, or someone might be up to, globally, like being, for example, a CEO of a company that's worldwide. So, those are different levels of success. It just depends also
on personal goals, pretty much.
Personal goals, where you're at and where you want to be, and all those things I think play an important role. Just don't forget to stick with the things you're passionate about.
I feel like we're like a perfect example, because we're like not complete opposites, because we both like the business side of things. But like, for example, me, for a long time I thought that I was like messing up school-wise and with my life in general, because first I thought I was going to do public administration, then I changed it to international business in German, then I realized I was behind in the language, so then I said, okay, I can do hospitality and tourism. But then along the way, I just kept realizing that that's not really what I wanted to do. And like what she said, that when you do stuff that you like, you kind of start figuring out who you are as a person and what you want to do throughout your life. And like, for example, I started doing my YouTube videos, so with that, I started figuring out like, okay, I like talking about issues like these. I like connecting with people, meeting different people. I like beauty. I like makeup. And so far, like, I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, and not just like what I like to do, but a lot about myself that I didn't know before, because I was like so focused on school and trying to be a specific way.
And then also I think it's really important to think at what point you're at now in the word success and how successful you are so far. I think it takes a while to be successful. Like, you don't become successful in the overnight. I mean, I guess some people do, but technically they don't really. I mean, I know my sister is here making her YouTube videos in her room. We're sitting on her bed. It's not a fancy couch, expensive couch, but I know that maybe if she keeps on pursuing her likes and what makes her happy, in a year we might be, filming some videos in LA at a, beauty con as a speaker there. I mean, who knows? Success can happen so fast, and when it happens, you can't press stop to it in a sense. So success will come. It's just, you just have to be consistent and never deviate from what you're passionate about, because that's only going to make you more passionate and more excited to
But at the same time, I feel like, for example, me, like, I obviously don't have like thousands of subscribers. I just have like 130, which is still a lot to me, because it's still people like,
because you started off from zero.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't want, like, I know there's a lot of smaller YouTubers that feel discouraged because either no one's subscribing to their videos, or no one's like looking at their stuff, because a lot of people put a lot of hard work in videos that just get like 50 views. But that's the thing, like, if you're doing what you like, it's worth it. But I have seen like other people that become successful. Like, there's people that become very successful and you think they're happy, but they're not, because they start straying away from who they are. So they kind of become lost in the success, and they stop doing what they like. They start doing what
other people expect them to do, and not what they want to do.
Exactly. And even I feel sometimes I try to like do like videos where I'm like, okay, what are people watching right now? But then I have to like step back and be like, what do I want to do? So like, instead of like doing some other like, yes, I like doing lookbooks, but like stuff like this, I think it's very important, not just for me, and like, I think it's good because me and my sister are like bonding, but it's also good because I feel like a lot of people need these kind of talks, and they don't hear this from other people.
Or they don't have someone they think they can talk to, reach out to. So I know I depend off my, I have my best friends, Lorena, shout out to Lorena and Alejandra, my best friends. My boyfriend too, Joshua. I know that those are people that you have to have a certain group that you really know you can reach out to and talk to about, your goals. And I know recently Alejandra and I have had a lot of conversations about our goals, where we see each other. And it's funny because we don't even expect to hear a certain answer. We just expect to hear a answer from each other,
and truthful answer.
Truthful answer. English is not my first language, but truthful answers about where we see ourselves. That's why I think it's so important. And some people might take it the wrong way and think, why are you thinking so far in advance? Like, it'll happen. But at the same time, I think it's powerful that I have my own power to kind of set myself a goal and set myself an idea of where I want to be, because from past experience and my own life experiences, I've seen that if I say I want to be somewhere, I exceed where I expected. So I had an influence mentally on what I was capable of. So I don't think it's a bad thing, but everyone works differently.
I think we're very similar in that sense. That's where I always like, when I'm like not happy with where I'm at the point in my life, it's because I'm constantly thinking about the future, where I want to be in the future, what I want to do in the future, what I want to accomplish in the future, like future. And then my mom always has to sit me down and tell me like, okay, well, you have to, like, stressing out about the future takes away from peace of your present. Does that make sense?
And
she phrases it that way.
It makes sense, but at the same time, I feel like thinking about the future is just as important. Not necessarily, maybe stressing about it is not, I do that sometimes.
I do that, that's why.
Stressing about it where you feel like you can't figure it out, like obviously you're not gonna figure it out because it's the future. I mean, things are gonna change, but the fact that you have the idea of like what that future looks like, I think that's important.
It's good. Is that your phone? I think it's good when you're thinking about the future, but you apply it, like for example the whole thing where it's like, what can I do today that will help me in my future goal?
Exactly.
That's what's a good thing. If you're stressing out about the future, it's not going to happen. If you're doing something today that's going to benefit or help you get to your future goals, and then that's when you're succeeding as a person.
It's also like well, it's the same thing you said. It's like, who can I talk to today that's going to influence my future? But if you hadn't thought about where your future kind of is going to go, then you don't know who to talk to today to make that future happen based on like what you want it to happen. So I don't know, I think in that sense that's part of the success process and kind of growing as a person, because you know, because of people you meet who are going to influence you, things you see, places you travel, trying to get to, you know, closer to your future goals. I think that's just as important as you know, living in the present. It's just, it's a combination. It can get a little bit stressful, but you just have to stop and think of, you know, all the stuff you've done back and where you want to go moving forward.
And to add to, like, you started talking about your friends and like communicating with your friends, I think it's very important that you surround yourself with people that want to see you succeed. Because I have found myself and like with friends that like, it's not like, it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's not like the jealousy between each other, but like it's like, oh well, don't do this, or like never tell your friends to do something because you want them to like stay in college or something. Like if I was selfish, I would tell my friends, don't leave to college because I decided to stay here. But like, I always want to see my friends succeed, and if doing all those things is going to help them succeed, then I will give them advice towards that. But I have given my friends advice when like they want to leave, but I know it's not convenient for them, and I know like I'm giving them advice like, don't leave because one, you're not going to be able to do much because you're like paying rent. Like, I'm realistic. I always tell my friends the truth.
You have to be.
Yeah, you have to be. Because sometimes everything sounds so easy, but then the reality is that when you get there,
money still exists.
Yeah.
You need money.
Especially like in big cities like San Diego, LA,
New York.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Rent is so expensive.
Okay, so it's crazy because I love anything like very colorful, Kate Spade. I love all those kinds of things. I love Monogram and all that. My point is that I was just telling my friend Alejandra that I just watched Sex and the City for a group project for a marketing class, and just looking, I mean, I'm supposed to analyze the characters for my project, but I couldn't stop and realizing how expensive it is to trying to live the dream. And don't get me wrong, so many people succeed at just leaving their city and moving to a new city, which is great, but you know, being realistic, you also have to think about the costs and all of that. But overall, I think it is possible, anything you set your mind into. But at the end of the day, you know, you also gotta be strategic about your plans and kind of just have an idea. Don't never lose the idea and the passion for what you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to end it. But I do want to add that, like, once again, don't stress on the goals you have right now, because the goals you have right now might not be the same goals you'll eventually have later.
You edit your goals.
Yeah, as you go and as you learn and as you grow.
You add more, you take more, because you were learning about yourself. So just stay passionate, people. I think that's, stay in love with life and
stay motivated
and passionate about what your likes are, because you will never go wrong with the things you love. And
I think eventually, if one is happy with where they are, they're succeeding no matter what anyone tells them. They're succeeding if they feel they're doing what they want to do.
And just because you're not there right now doesn't mean you won't be there tomorrow. So definitely keep shooting for your dreams.
Is that too hot still?
Yeah, still hot.
Because you didn't drink it at all.
No, the cup is still hot.
So one thing I actually forgot to ask Natalie, one thing I wanted to add to my Tea Time Talk videos is at the end, I wanted to ask whoever I was doing the video with, in this case you, I wanted to ask you if you could give anyone any piece of advice, what would it be?
Wow. should have told me about this question before. There's so much. If I could give anyone, like,
just like your favorite piece of advice that you've learned from, and that you're like, okay, like, kind of,
to be honest, I think, okay, I know people hear it all the time, but I will never regret taking the time to save up money and travel. Like, you hear it all the time, and it just kind of becomes this repeated, you know, thing that people tell you, travel, travel, travel. But when you travel, you literally see things with different eyes. You see different cultures, different languages. Even if you don't understand that language, you see the way people think about it. It's such a big world, and you're so stuck with, you know, the people you look around in your neighborhoods and what everyone is doing. You're kind of used to that image. But when you go to a different country, you stop and observe and say, is this what people would be doing if I weren't here? Like, this is what life is like on the other side of the globe.
Mm-hmm. And so impacting.
And it also, like, if you kind of take it in a very entrepreneur kind of mindset, you start looking at the things that they need. Because especially if you go to third world countries, you'll stop and see at the things that they struggle with that we don't. And maybe you could possibly be that person that impacts their life positively, in a positive way. So, you know, you start looking at different angles based on what your interests are. But traveling just really does open your eyes, and the people you meet and the foods you eat. I love to eat, so, you know, things like that. So if you can definitely save up, even if you have a small part-time job, save up. I did that with my job while working at Tesla. I saved up for my trip to China. And just overall, I'm gonna keep on saving to give myself some of these new experiences that travel will give me. So travel, people, it's a great world. It's lots of places to visit and lots of food to eat.
I think that's really good advice. It's funny because just yesterday I was watching this video by another YouTuber. Her name is Katie Bellotti, I think. She's been in Europe for 3 months, and she made like this like montage video where she's talking about how she's not going back home the same person, because she's evolved she has never changed so much in her life as she has as traveling, because she went to like Rome, Paris, everywhere, all that places. And at the end, like, one of the scenes that she was at a museum, and she's like, I'm learning stuff that I would have never learned in school. And I think
learn different things in life.
I think that was a very powerful like part of her video. So I'll link it down below if you guys want to check it out. It's really good, and she did a really good like video, like editing and all that stuff. So I think that's it for our tea time.
And as far as travel, video, really quick, I just started a blog, so I'm gonna post this video in my new blog. And right now it's just starting off simple. It's Paola will link it in the bottom.
I'll link it down below. All of her information.
So I'm gonna be posting pictures about my trip to China, kind of talking about myself, and posting this video on there. So if you want to keep up with me, I always post her stuff on there too. So feel free to just follow my blog.
And if you guys have been like in your life, if you guys have been thinking about like starting a blog or starting a YouTube channel,
do it. No right time to do it. Lorena, start your blog. This is for you.
And start your YouTube video if you want to do it, because you won't regret it. So
it's fun. You can be creative. There's no wrong way to do it. So just do it. And do it.
Just do it. Okay, we'll end it here because this video is really long. But that's it for our tea time talk video. Thank you, sister, for coming out and talking. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Let's do a funny one. That's a wrap. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paola, for those of you that don't know me. And today is Friday. And I'm currently in my room here.